Today is Tuesday, January 31st, 2012, and this is Pastel Pony Podcast 22. And today, I've got MOBIUS with me.
Hey.
So, before we get into anything with MOBIUS, I want to go over a couple of quick things real quick for you guys out in the radio land. First off, CommandSpry had some suggestions for me that I want to take to heart in my constant quest to improve this podcast. First off, I've got a new way of handling music because, let's be honest, most of the stuff that I find is through Equestria Daily. So instead of just talking about it and linking it straight away, I've opened up a playlist with my favorites, and every week I'll just add stuff to that. So anything that I happen to enjoy will end up in there. I feel like that's an easier way for you guys to find stuff. Second of all, he had suggested making a fan spotlight, which I think is very important, because although I do what I do, I don't really give much back to you guys, and I feel that that needs to change. I often do these stories, but they're mostly stories that I choose and that I want to do, and I don't do requests very often. So, that being said, from now on, I want to take time to actually spotlight individual fans that might be doing stuff, like especially people who are commenting on the videos fairly regularly. Like, Mr. E380 does a lot of stuff and has a lot of little fics going on, and the Flying Spinosaurus, who I think is Note Pick 4 on FimFiction, has been writing a really awesome Team Fortress crossover. So if you guys have anything like this, let me know. Which brings me to another point. Send me things, as the dog and cat play in the background. We'll have to exile one of them. I like it when you send me things, especially if they're not from Equestria Daily, because I don't have that much time to look at stuff, but I'll look at anything anyone sends me, as long as I have the time. Animals need to stop doing stuff. I love you, animals.
Just stare at them.
You stare at them. Alright, so anyways, back to the podcast. The other thing is I might be doing news every once in a while, like random, either fandom news or just regular world news, based on whatever I find. But let's be honest, I don't look at the news very often, so things like SOPA and ACTA, when I have the chance, I'll mention. ACTA's a horrible thing. Don't touch it. Make it go away.
Wouldn't making it go away involve inherently touching it in some way, shape, or form?
With an internet fire pole.
Alright, there we go.
That lights it on fire, makes it go away. Now, the next thing, before we move on to things where MOBIUS can talk more, is the contest entries. This sort of goes along with that giving more back to you guys kind of thing. I don't know exactly when I'll have time to do this, but I have decided, especially since the results were so close, I will at least read the first chapter of 6 Angry Mares, She Will Be Loved, and Today, Tomorrow, and Forever. Not all of those are multi-part, but I think at least 2 of them are. So, because you all wanted to see that, because they look like good stories and they interest me, I will try to do all of those for you guys at some point. I don't know which one I'll be doing first. Next week will be a week of outtakes, because we're still technically on hiatus. This week you're getting the one with MOBIUS and I. Next week you're getting outtakes, and hopefully, if all goes according to plan, an Equestrian Invasion will be after that. Then we'll jump back to the regular update schedule.
I swear, you have the busiest hiatus schedule and release schedule.
Yeah, I know. I do that. Well, to be honest, although this is a hiatus, it's mostly a hiatus from the normal weekly stuff. It's sort of a spotty update schedule with not regular episodes. They're still getting things, just not regular things.
I think hiatus is the big umbrella term to say I'm not taking any more projects on at this time.
Something like that. Although, that reminds me, there are going to be 2 weeks where I miss an update, and I will tell you guys about them right now. The first weekend in March, I am going to Chicago to visit a friend that I haven't seen in a year and a half. I will not have a normal episode up that week. I should have a podcast. I don't know if I'll have anything like what's going up this week. We'll see. Then, I 100% will not have an episode. I believe it's the first weekend in May, so right after that. I will be in St. Louis for Fear the Con. Bronies who are in St. Louis, come talk to me. Hang out. It'll be awesome. But I will not have a normal episode that week.
I can throw down and run pickup games of pony-themed tabletop games.
As I plan to do as well. So, that... Hello, Saki. That being said, those are the 2 planned hiatuses. Hopefully I won't have any more than that. And I want to move on because this week we don't have what's I would technically consider a friendship report, but I wanted to go over this anyways. Mr. Bob Max sent me a message, and it reads as follows. 1 week since discovering MLP Film, watched every episode in under a day, read 3 fanfics which led me to this channel, currently marathoning through your entire library. Listening to you read past sins inspired me to write my own fanfic. In less than 12 hours I finished 2 lengthy chapters and a Trollolog, Trolestia-based memery on the high internet waves. 3rd chapter already in the works. Possibly the most inspired and artistic workmanship of my entire life. I, for the first time in eons, feel like picking up the pen again to pursue my dreams of becoming a novelist. All thanks to you, bronies, MLP, Fim, the inspired wealth of fanfiction, and all the ideals of the chocolate freaking rain and love and tolerance. MLP may just be the greatest thing to happen to me in the past 2 years, if not my entire life. Epic thanks to all you Pegasisters and bronies out there. Bro-hoof to every pony. And I just wanted... Yeah, Mobius and I are bro-hoofing, just for you, Mr. Bob Max. I wanted to read that because I've said it before and I'll probably say it again in the future. This is sort of the common story that we all seem to have. It's one of the things that life just kind of sucks and we find this wonderful thing. And then we find an even more wonderful community. So thank you for that, and thank you for letting me share it with the fandom. Mobius, do you have anything to add?
Phlegm and disease. Also alcohol.
Don't add that. I don't want those.
Now, I'm keeping my distance away from you. I know how you're you'd rather have your feet blown off and die of gangrene than you have something happen to your larynx.
That's true, especially since I have to work the next 4 days. Although, having a legitimate reason to call off would be nice, too.
You can play it into your work and just say, I have too much exhaust this day.
I feel like that. I wake up with a sore throat most days.
You can just say, I'm on my life's goal to imitating Vegeta, more so than before. I want my larynx to be permanently damaged to produce that sound every time I open my mouth and grumble.
What do you mean, Virginia? Carrot cake. Oh, I blame Bronote for that. Alright. Well, this week we have a daily moment of ridiculous that actually comes from Facebook. Any of you that are fans of the Bronies page on there will recognize this. The rest of you won't. It's from Cliff. Lauren Faust commented about the upcoming DVD release. I always loved My Little Pony, even in its early iteration. However, I felt that the first few episodes of Friendship is Magic could have been a bit better. That's why I teamed up with LucasArts to help fix some errors. For instance, I didn't have the budget at the time to color Princess Celestia pink, so we've used state-of-the-art technology to revise that error. Also, I wanted to introduce my favorite pony that was left out on the cutting room floor. For the first 6 episodes, we'll include Jar Jar Pie in the show.
No! You are not allowed to live anymore.
Apparently Mobius isn't going to let me finish this troll, but I just thought this was amazing.
Go for it, finish it. You're just going to piss me off, but do it.
I've also added some fixed ups. Wow. Adding humor in where it desperately needed some. I've also fixed up the 2-parter starring Discord. I've always thought that Fluttershy should have fired a laser at Discord before being altered. Thankfully, George is helping with the fixes, and I'm excited to see what he brings to the table.
I don't mind Fluttershy shooting lasers. That's okay, I'm fine with that. But there will be no Gungans in any fandom I'll have a part of.
Spike pod racing.
Dude, pod racing is one of my favorite things about episode 1.
Adam the Person and I are going to the 3D release. You want to go see it? 3D pod racing. Come on. You know you want to see 3D Jar Jar Pie.
But it's the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I know. I'm still going to see it, though. I just want to see what happens. Anyways, that's their daily moment of ridiculous, which is a troll from Cliff on Facebook on the Bronies page. Way to go. That was phenomenal. It made my week. So,
I don't need clumsy Gungans, I have Derpy.
That's true. Derpy basically is Jar Jar, except better.
She doesn't have the speech patterns which just make me hate her. I love Derpy.
So, I don't have anything for Best of EQD this week because I've been spending all of my free time on An Equestrian Invasion, which, by the way, is progressing fairly well. I've got some of the original music done. A couple of the conversations is spliced together. Conversations is? And I've got a couple of the sound effects. So it's probably a little more than half done at this point. And I have most of the lines, they're just not in order yet. I still need a girl, though. If you're a girl and you have a microphone, please, for the love of Celestia, I need someone to play Luna and the police mayor. Alright. One thing before we jump to the chat log and this week's episode, which is still technically a spoiler, so we've reached spoilers territory. If you haven't seen the episode, turn off this right now. You've had your chance. So, those of you who are old enough, or anime buffs, old enough to remember the original Dragon Ball Z, before it got the Funimation dub, Scott McNeil was in this past episode, who played the original English voice for Vegeta and Piccolo.
Really?
He was either Flim or Flam.
See, I know Scott McNeil primarily for his role as Duo Maxwell from Gundam Wing back in the day.
He also played Wolverine on X-Men Evolution, I believe.
Holy crap.
Yeah, he did a lot of stuff. So, Scott McNeil was either Flim or Flam. I don't remember which, but that was kind of awesome. I loved it. It made me happy. So, I suppose before... would you like to do the chat log first, or would you like to discuss the episode first?
What do you think has the better experience onto it?
Well, if you intend to read some of the chat log with me, then I say that we do that second and we discuss the episode first.
Alright, let's go that way.
Alright, well, I'm gonna... Oh, I can't increase the size. We'll figure out a way to do that. I'll mess with that while we're talking. So what did you think of the episode, Mobius? How did you feel about that?
I liked it overall. I think it was very well done. They went through the normal, the motions of going through a proper storytelling when it comes to building up tension and the release of that. I honestly thought that Trixie was going to pop out at some point in the first 5 minutes of the episode.
I really hoped she would. That was kind of amazing. It was in the comments. All over the place.
What?
Yeah, people were really thinking that she was going to pop out of the machine.
No, the first 2 lines of the chat log.
Yeah, I know. You'll see.
Alright.
So,
when it comes to the natural charlatan storyline, I mean, Flim and Flam played it straight. For the most part, I felt, here's the thing that I really like. You've brought up the comment that they're putting in flaws into the ponies, and this has mixed feelings with you. I really like it, because this is after the effects of Discord. This is after he's gotten inside their head and made them do things outside of their character.
Very true.
They have to grow up and deal with that. They have to realize that, look, I can't say horrible and horrific because it's a children's show and ponies, but these things that are outside of their character, they did. They happened. They have full memory of them even if they didn't have control. They have to move on and live with that.
That's true. All I have to say to you bronies out there is vaudeville ponies. It may be because I'm working on an equestrian invasion, which in and of itself is essentially vaudeville ponies, but dear God, I couldn't have been happier. I loved the voices. And part of it's because I've been using this voice for weeks at a time, working on an equestrian invasion.
Now, it's not just the fact that it's vaudeville ponies, it's how they work the crowd, it's how they engage everyone, getting them to sing along with their song.
And it's show tunes.
It's hard not to buy into someone's product when you're singing along with their very sales pitch song.
Also, Fairy Punch was everywhere. That doesn't show up in the logs, but absolutely everywhere. She was actually like 4th in line behind Pinky.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something I noticed the second time around, and it had fan art within, like an hour or two, was, I think they're calling her Mjolnir right now, which is the female background pony, one of the new ones, that appears to have a lightning bolt and hammer cutie mark. I was kind of stoked about that.
It's because you're, as I yell from the background, it's because you're a fan of Norse mythology and they actually found a way how to incorporate that.
I don't even know if it's intentional.
She has olive skin, not pale white skin, but she does have blonde hair. So it's she fits that Norse stereotype very well.
She's a Viking pony. I want more Viking ponies.
That shows up relatively early in line for Cider.
You, Hasbro. Someone go bug Hasbro. Tell them to make me a blind bag of her. But anyways, so what did you think about the technology? How did you feel about that? Because they've been quoted as saying we do whatever is required at the time, and the tech level is kind of fluidic.
Yes. Given that, I love this show, and therefore I will nitpick this show to the nth degree because I love it. I think it really fits, because when you're ever dealing with alternate histories and alternate worlds, you have to accept that, look, technology will increase by leaps and bounds in certain areas. Equestria hasn't hit really widespread mechanization, and I really think that was one of the prevailing themes in this show. The fact that, as Applejack continually brings up, but this is the way that Apple family's always done it.
It honestly, especially with this recent episode, although they've been talking about how it's sort of whatever they need at the time, what it seems like to me is almost as though they've intentionally left it around the 1920s, 1930s, and the only reason there's slightly better tech in certain episodes is because they have magic with which to make it.
Mm-hmm. And I really think that's it, because that's really when the technology really started to kick off in the last century, when the world started rapidly changing from every other paradigm, where the world would be relatively the same for hundreds of years, and now it's rapidly changing every decade.
Yep. So, before we begin this chat log nonsense, do you have any closing thoughts to add about the episode? What you liked, what you hated? Crowning moment of awesome?
I overall really liked the episode. I really like the fact that, if you go back and do the math, for the first half of the competition, Flim and Flam were outputting 3 barrels for every one of the Apple family. And then afterwards, for the second half, they were outputting 5 barrels for every 3 that Flim and Flam did. Meaning that they would have been dead even if Flim and Flam didn't try and push that machine outside of its design parameters. And the fact that it worked flawlessly the entire time. So this makes me think that, hold on, did Flim and Flam make this machine and just not have the industrial backing for mass production?
It's definitely possible. I will say to you fans right now, you heard me last week, and I'm actually surprised I didn't get any hate mail for saying that I really disliked that episode. Let me rephrase that. I didn't dislike last week's episode. I disliked certain aspects, but overall I liked it.
It didn't meet your expectations for how previous episodes had played to the main character.
Right. Although I did love Pinky shouting, "Rarity catch me." However, that being said, I absolutely love this episode. It's definitely in my top 5, and it's actually in my top 3 right now. Or, top 4. It's hard to pick. But Baby Cakes, Party of One, Sonic Rain Boom, and this one are currently my favorites right now. And I don't know, maybe it's because I've been waiting so long for an Applejack episode, and this one was actually good. It showed her as she normally is.
It is, but how her family interrelates with each other. For the fact that Apple Bloom keeps on volunteering her family into these Russian roulette gambits, and go figure, Granny Smith is the one that jumps in right after, sealing the deal into this Russian roulette gambit.
Whereas the people who are most even-headed and likely to be are Big Mac and AJ. Which is what I would expect and hope for. Whereas in the last one, AJ was acting the way that a normal person would, but still out of character for her.
Especially for the element of honesty.
Right. Although Dash's element of loyalty thing has been a little suspect lately, too. How do you feel about Rainbow Dash being an alcoholic?
I feel the fact that everyone is entitled to their vices. I mean, Rainbow Dash is one for aesthetic experiences. Wanting to live life to the fullest. And speed and power and awesomeness. She just wanted some cider. She was willing to eat dirt to get at the cider.
One of my favorite things is just that comic that came out like a day later that was just Rainbow Dash pouring cider into the ground and eating it. And then Applejack looking at her real word, and she just goes, "Don't you judge me." Oh. I love this fandom. I love how fast things happen.
What does it say, the fact that... I know we're on episode, 15, 16?
Yeah, something like that. Wow, we still got like 10 left.
It's just that we're over halfway there, and I know that however much the fan base is outputting now, it's going to go up exponentially once Season 2 is done. We're on the off-season.
Yeah, what am I going to do? I'm barely going to have anything to say in the podcast, so I'll probably spend a lot more time on MLE, which I've been meaning to do anyways.
You know what? That just means that your fan base can collaborate with me about the fan fiction idea we posted about, and we can make a
Which
collab.
will go up tomorrow with this episode.
Yes!
I know, you're so excited. Bronies, any of you who write, Mobius is absolutely 100% serious about what he says in the episode. He really would like to work on this.
I love crack fix. They're so much fun to make.
Exactly. I can't believe that Present Perfect not only found our stuff, but wants to make a bar called Whiskey Face.
Look to every tabletop game I have ever run.
That's
ever.
true.
Sir Drinks-a-Lot was a main character in my Fallout
I love
game.
Sir Drinks-a-Lot. That was fantastic. Was that a pony game?
I stole the plot from the first 3 chapters of Fallout Equestria, and you
But we
played
were
that.
playing humans.
Yes.
Okay.
Because at that time,
remember.
I'd yet to indoctrinate the entire gaming group into ponies.
We still haven't gotten Seth, but...
He went from hating it to being neutral to it. Give it time.
It may just be that one day he gives it a chance and the colorfulness is helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Given the winter depression that seems to be striking all of us lately, that might be enough. We just need to have it on in the background somewhere.
Eventually, the background radiation of ponies will have him give in to love and tolerance.
Speaking of which, this is a... we'll get back to the chat log in a second. This is a spoiler for any of you who read MLE, so I know there are at least 2 or 3 of you. Also, when I finish Past Sins, I will start on MLE. I know that I have at least 5 or 10 people who want to hear it, so I will start doing that. Anyways, that being said, spoiler for MLE for the chapter that is not released yet. I am naming Celestia's flagship Tolerance, specifically because you and I have had this discussion before. I hate tolerance because I think that the connotation is wrong. Mm-hmm. It's acceptance that you want, not tolerance. Mm-hmm. Because if you tolerate something, there's sort of this level of spiteful bitterness. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't like what you are, but I'll pretend that I don't care.
But my default state is spiteful bitterness.
As is most bronies, including my own. But if we're going with what MLP is teaching us, we want to strive for acceptance and love, not love and tolerance.
Grrr, there's some people in the world I really despise, though.
Yeah, well, that happens. But that being said, I'm naming Celestia's Borg flagship the Tolerance because I feel that that's sort of the Borg. Down distilled to their essence. Alright, so I apologize for that random MLE interlude.
Ah, you meant My Little Enterprise.
Mm-hmm. Alright. So, how do you want to do this chat log, Mobius? Do you want to just interject random lines when you find they're appropriate, or would you like to switch off, or...
Let's just switch off going back and forth. Because then we have a surprise factor going on.
Alright, before we start, I will mention that for the first time I've done something really helpful. I put breaks wherever there are breaks in the episode, so either the commercials or the switching of scenes or whatever. That's what the interspaces are, the line breaks. Now, the other important thing is that the very first section there that you see, which is horrible, is not actually ponies. This is right before it started when Hax threw up the strawberry shortcake.
Oh, okay.
That's why you see these strange things.
I'm surprised the first 5 lines aren't "My body is ready."
That's, well, I tend to, I don't copy paste. Mm-hmm. I take what I like and I leave out the rest. And I've gotten a little bit tired of "My body is ready." There's a lot of it. So I tend to only put it in once or twice instead of all the time.
I just finished Ponies Play D&D last night. I'm gonna catch up with...
I love that fic.
I'm going to...
You want to read the first one after this?
Sure.
Alright.
Alright, after... Lost my train of thought. After that, I'm gonna finish Fallout Equestria. And after that, I'm gonna read Princess Molestia.
I've been meaning to do that. There's some really awesome stuff on Tumblr, by the way. Like, hey...
I have. She has, like, what, 1,000, 10,000 followers? How many?
I'm one of them. Have you ever seen the Chubbies thing? The little, like, bean-looking creatures?
I've seen them, but only through other Tumblrs.
There's a full Tumblr for it, and they're kind of awesome and adorable.
I've been loving Dr. Adorable.
Yes, that is one of the other ones. But anyways, so we are starting off the chat log, and I guess this whole, like, 10 minutes has been spoilers, so onward. Dan Lipstick.
Then Orgy.
Dan versus MLP. Good combo.
Not strawberry scent.
I I'm scared, cries in corner.
Oh, muffin crumbs.
Give me ponies.
Pupcake.
Now ponies.
Grand. Galloping. Gala?
Ponies, ponies, ponies.
Thank God.
Zakora.
My little Zakora.
Full screen, bitches.
Aw, shit. I mean muffin crumbs.
Aww.
Yes.
Fluttershy.
No, no, no.
Naked.
Yes, yes, yes.
Best ponies.
What?
Flying sideways.
Cider. Smiley face.
Bunnies.
Pinkie Pie.
Bunny.
RD is an alcoholic.
By the way, anytime I do that, it's probably just an abbreviation. So feel free
Rainbow Dash is an alcoholic.
to occupy Ponyville.
Curse you, Pinkamena.
Hard cider.
Morning hair, Pinky.
Damn it, Pinks.
For leaving her out at that desert.
Lol.
You mad?
They are really desperate for booze.
Booze ponies.
Evil Pinky!
Fuck yeah.
Wonder when we'll get to see some berry punch.
Why do you make Dash a bitch this year?
Alcoholic Pinky. Commercial break.
That's fuck.
Hi, Billy Mays here with Dumb Fabric, and it has Strength and Streusel.
I'm back.
Magic Kindergarten.
4-chain child education system.
I'm glad you got that one. Silly Americans.
Cancer on the bud.
This advert is just terrifying.
Jesus.
You.
I would freak out.
Satan.
Spitfire is best minor pony.
Pedophile McDonald's.
I thought he died.
Not enough pony.
No pony loves your majors and minors.
No one.
I don't care.
Yay!
Alcohol.
Winter wrap up.
It starts.
Zap apples and now this?
Woot! Bonbon.
Fuck off, Rarity.
And no tense.
Sapphires.
The Super Sus 6000.
All my bits.
FTM. I'm getting blitzed.
One mug.
Drunk party.
Sweet Apple Acres is the Krusty Krab.
Drunk ass.
Lyra!
Poor Rainbow.
Poor Dashy.
Nope.
No, Dashy.
Lol.
Aw.
Fluttershy sounds?
Mobs.
This is pretty much the internet.
Berry Punch wants her stuff.
Alcohol-fueled riots.
Rainbow Punch.
Pinky Troll.
Raging Dash.
Hershey. Heresy.
Science.
Industry.
Cars.
Heimerdinger.
Steampunk.
Cars.
God, I love the Apple family. They should get their own show.
Holy balls.
1930 sales ponies. More vaudeville.
Monorail.
Derp.
I had to sign in and just comment about this.
Derp.
Derpy.
Oh, hi, Derpy.
I just realized it's a song.
Traveling sales pony is best sales pony.
I'm freaking the math out, and this is amazingness out of this song.
That was one of mine. Yes, catchy song.
Rarity is stricken.
Lol, epicness.
Trespassers.
Cider.
Lazy eyes.
Files in Lasia.
Science.
Cider.
Granny lol.
Like a boss.
Granny Smith song.
Dat rhyme.
Go, Granny, go.
Granny rap.
Sing, Applejack, sing.
This is getting quite long.
Oh, that was... Shit. Gotta get me some cider.
Sing, Applejack.
Doctor Who's?
The legs scare me.
Who's?
Where's Filthy Rich in this?
Yahoo!
Huddle.
Apple Bloom Trader.
Yep.
Fanboy Faint.
Epic rap battle. Flim and Flam versus Granny Smith.
Dealer No Deal.
No deal.
You said it, Big Mac.
He spoke.
Oh, snap.
What happened?
Gasp.
Capitalism. Fuck yeah. And now we're at the next set of adverts. Oh, hell no.
Star Wars.
Star Wars is magic.
Industrial Revolution arrives at Ponyville.
It burns.
They deserve to die.
Build a pony.
Pony.
If you say so, Twilight.
Pinky!
Pony game!
So, that was a big song.
In 35 minutes, John Siseko and the first remix will come out.
Forever Alone.
Forever Lazy.
What the fuck is this shit?
America,
Like pajamas.
fuck yeah!
Sexier than a French maid outfit.
Forever a Lazy.
Lol, America, you so lazy.
Forever Lazy with an ass zipper.
Marathon equal world made by bronies.
Hob, why you know Denmark?
Rainbow Dash's best spokespony.
Spike, you are just a baby.
Holding cups.
Heart explosion.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
They gonna pay for that fence?
Oh, no you don't.
Mustache guy.
Where do you get the apples then?
Poor Rainbow Dash.
There's... Damn it, I'm gonna speak in a southern accent now.
I'm probably going to switch off to vaudeville in a second.
There's gonna be an epic clopfic about this flip-flop
I
brothers.
knew you'd like that one. Element of loyalty, my ass.
Stop cider.
That face.
Whoa, whoa, woo.
Fluttershy.
Challenge accepted.
Upside down bloom.
They stole cider, insult Applejack, and made fools out of every pony. Bronies, grab your pitchforks.
Why did you call me Sonny?
Scootaloo!
Back to the Future reference.
Shit got real.
Filimbimblehoozlers.
Oh lord, no.
Ponies.
Barbershop duet.
Oh shit.
Rest in peace, Apple family.
Think before you act.
Snorted apples, eh?
Big Mac's got some awesome goggles.
It's a bucking bag.
SpongeBob will never fry cook again.
Damn goggles.
That's swag.
I think their cider is gonna suck.
5 pounds says it's a draw.
Note how no one has commented on the cider.
Oh my god, thank you, Hasbro.
Time ponies using hourglass. Legit.
Better pick up the pace.
Fuck.
They're cheating!
Mantle collapse.
Hacks!
Again. No.
Mass production, ah!
Capitalism.
I smell an Apple family black market comeback.
Go away, ABC Mouse.
Fuck science.
Seriously, why don't they ever hire help? Dash would work for the cider.
Meh, I'll just be late for work.
113, 115 bronies out there.
I would beat the crap out of their machine if I were there.
Doctor Who's is now canon.
I'm a cockroach!
What? All of them.
We're in the adverts right now. I would love it.
We heart ponies.
Ponies!
Throws votes at screen. Shut up and take my votes.
Yay!
Love.
And then AJ won.
Rainbow Dash is an alcoholic.
Machine breaks down, calling it.
I bet Trixie is powering that thing.
How can Big Mac get tired?
Overdrive.
Yes, cheat!
Steampunk Mac.
Overdrive.
Mac.
Cheat!
Honorary family members.
The Magics.
Kingdom of Canterlot includes Celestia.
Darn it twice, stay out of it.
Daw.
I heard Discord.
Magic.
Unless it's a farm.
Shit just got real.
Get to it, damn it!
Fluttershy.
Lyra jumping in the background.
Powerpuff Girls unite.
In before Dash Big Mac ships.
Backflip.
Badass.
Boss.
Lovely. All to shipping.
Maths is epic.
Gigawatts.
In before it breaks.
Cider machine explodes.
Lovely horrid.
Science overload.
They're using vacuum tubes.
Maximum power.
I love Rainbow Dash because her power is maximum.
Animal Farm reference. That's another one of mine. I blame Broly, because his power is truly maximum.
How many trees do they have?
The brothers is gonna suck and no one will want it.
Nope.avi.
And then they fucked.
So many fixing
I feel like I'm missing something there. Quality.
Taste the cider, damn it.
That bastards.
And how much of that is actually drinkable? Kill.
Rainbow Dash, fuck them up now, damn it.
The end.
Cider business, not apple business.
Pinky crying out for remorse again? No.
The horror.
Nope.
What?
Mine's got rocks in it.
Rocks, lol.
Ben, Bon are 3 voices now.
Change voices again.
That's what you get for cheater.
Run.
Lol owned.
It turned our tongues purple.
Just dances the problems away.
Da-da-da. Yay.
Happy AJ.
But Carmel, you're part of the Apple family.
Let's all get pissed.
No lesson.
What? Lol?
Lol, AJ.
Fuck Trollestia.
I didn't learn anything.
Best ending ever.
That was great.
Lol, Trollestia got trolled.
Win equals do everything right to start with. So, now Mobius, you've been a part of the chat log and we've exceeded 35 minutes here. How do you feel about all this?
I feel outstanding. I feel better now that I'm drinking tea with honey and therefore I can talk.
That's good stuff. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Oh, that episode. I love that episode. I love the chat log for that episode too. That was one of my favorite ones, probably because I shouted I'm freaking the math out. Also because of vaudeville ponies. Well, I suppose it's time to go for today, folks. This is Flim and my friend Flam.
Later.
We'll be seeing you again sometime soon. Goodbye, bronies.